Hello, loves. Let's talk. Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. I want to talk about the latest reports from News Nation because why not? I have a lot of questions about how stupid they really think people are. Look, I know there's a lot of people that believe that Bryan Kohberger is the one and only in this situation. But I do believe, for the most part, innocent until proven guilty. And for me to sit here and act like things are not mathin' for me would be me being dishonest to myself and to you. This man spent almost a decade studying criminal justice and psychology. He wanted to work for the police department to help them with cloud-based forensics. He not only would have known not to leave his apartment with his phone and then turn it off, showing that he left at the timeline that's in question here, turned it back on in a weird area to where it was tracked all the way back to his house, and he also would have known not to save photos of his future victims on his cell phone. Now, he could just be a complete damn fool. He could be just a complete moron. But I still question this because that's a lot of money and a lot of your life's precious limited hours that you were spending doing this just to make simple, careless mistakes for no reason. This doesn't make logical sense to me. And it probably is because I'm a bit biased. I have a degree in criminal justice and criminal forensic science. And these mistakes are extremely careless, almost as if it was a teenager with no background and no common knowledge that just didn't care. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I still question a lot about Kopaka. There's a lot there that I still want to talk about. And I know there's some people already talking about this, and there's probably just nothing new that I can really bring to the table. But my suspicions are very much still there when it comes to Mr. Marine. The fact that the story about what happened was completely suppressed. We didn't even hear about it until the body cam footage was released whenever the cops were pulling over Bryan and his father. And that body cam footage was released after his arrest. And it wasn't until that release that word about the SWAT shooting was even told to the public, before anyone even knew about it. And that entire area was a hot spot at the moment. And for some reason, that story eluded everyone. That's weird to me. And we know how suppression works, especially in the media. And then, of course, we have this gag order. And News Nation is just out here, just every single day, just dropping new tidbits of information that some sources are giving them. I mean, what was the point of the gag order being doubled down on if News Nation is just allowed to keep doing this? I don't understand why media sources aren't also under gag orders. But then again, we know that our governments like to use them to their advantage. Which of course makes you question why News Nation is trying to make Bryan look so guilty. If the evidence is there, then we don't need your words to help the situation. He's going to be convicted if that's what the evidence proves. So I'm not really quite sure what they're trying to cast doubts or try to cast impressions on. I don't really understand the motives of media besides money, honestly. But I also know that they're also now trying to state that Bethany was an onlooker on the streets instead of being inside the house like everyone else would have been, like Dylan would have been in the inner circle. I can imagine the scene, here's the house and here's the parking area and here's the road and there are all these people like outside trying to figure out what's going on, and this is where Bethany is, but Dylan is inside that circle in the parking area, in the house area, because she was inside at the time of the incident. Bethany wasn't. She's outside with the onlooking crowd, which is odd. And it kind of goes back to something that we asked, I guess, a few videos ago, because I noticed that a lot of channels were maybe coming up with the theory that Bethany might have not actually been in the residence at the time of the incident itself. That yes, she had returned home earlier on in the night, had left at some point, and didn't return home until there was an onlooking crowd. And that's possible. I don't see how it would have anything to do with this, but it is possible that is the situation. So what if the girl has a life? I mean, come on. But then again, I also question when it comes to what we've heard about Dylan apparently trying to contact the girls and getting no response from them after hearing all these noises and all the things that happened. Was Bethany one of the ones that Dylan contacted? Or did Dylan know that Bethany had left earlier on in the night before Dylan went to her own room, and so there was no reason for Dylan to message Bethany about the noises? And remember, this is something that apparently some of Ethan's family has been relaying out there. And it wasn't just a News Nation report. There were social media posts about Dylan contacting the other girls and getting no response. And then that's whenever she called someone over to the house. I just question where the logic is in all of this. It's just so strange to me that someone would spend a decade of their life studying so hard for something and make these kinds of mistakes. Unless he had a death wish, unless he was on his own path of self-destruction and just didn't care, he could have chosen to just make all of the careless mistakes that he wanted to because his end game was to end it. There's quite a few people that go out and do heinous things because they have their own death wish they're trying to fulfill. I wonder if Bryan Kohberger is one of them, if he is actually the guy. This is just very confusing to me, and I know it has to be confusing to you guys. Because, I mean, I am one of you guys. I'm just trying to figure all this crap out. I just don't understand News Nation's motive with all of this. You'd think that they would be trying to sanctify the integrity of this case if they care about these victims and their families so much. Why do this? Why continue this cycle of crap? Add it to the list of things I just will never understand. But that's it, you guys. See y'all.